And we are back for the before and after for Wukong, directed by Kwok. Saw his As the Light Goes Out with Nicholas C. and Shawn Yue about the firefighters. So this time around, it's a Wukong. So Monkey King story once again, and it's based on an internet novel. I don't remember the exact name, but Derek also wrote the screenplay for this. He wrote As the Light Goes Out. I really enjoyed sort of the cast chemistry and the dialogue and story narrative, so hopefully that carries over to this one. And if you didn't know, this is like the 5th time around for the last, I don't know how many years, for the last 5 years for sure, definitely. This is probably the 5th Monkey King like narrative movie. So I mean, you have the 2 Stephen Chows, and then you got the Donnie Yen, and then you have the Aaron Kwok sequel, and then now this. And this one definitely is what I hoped the Donnie Yen was about, where it's just strictly about Wukong and just his time before meeting up with his crew and all that stuff. So looking forward to that. I mean, I saw the trailer and it totally sold me, and yeah, definitely that whole like who he is and when he introduced himself, that was super badass. And it's like, holy crap, Eddie Peng, the guy that did nothing in the Great Wall, is doing something here. So definitely looking forward to that. I saw snippets of it online, and it's like the costume design looks fun. Definitely looking forward to like the whole world building and just like monster designs, costume designs. Just visually, I think it's gonna be stunning because China has all that stuff down when it comes to sort of ancient garb and type of stuff like that. Lighting's horrible because I'm standing beside a ad. So yeah, so definitely looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see the action. And yeah, so this is before and this is after. So that's it. So I really should look up synopsis before I watch some foreign movie sometimes when it's like a huge franchise thing. So try to stop shaking. But basically this movie actually takes place 1,000 years before the whole journey to the west. Like with the whole Donnie Yen thing, that was 500 years. So he actually lives his life and then he rebels against the Heavenly Kingdom in the Donnie Yen movie. And then in Monkey King 2, that's 500 years after the first one, then he starts his journey. So with all this Monkey King business, I am looking forward to Journey to the West. I think Monkey King 3 apparently is coming out in February of 2018 with the same cast, so that's great. No more switching out like main characters. So I'm getting off track. But anyway, this movie, Wukong, really interesting. We had a love interest played by Ni. She was in Flowers of War with Christian Bale in Zhang Yimou's sort of World War II sort of crazy Japanese-Chinese thing. So yeah, like there was a love interest, so that was a really different side of Wukong that I've never seen before. And then we have Yang Jing, the guy with the third eye, heavenly eye. He's not activated yet throughout the movie until the end, but Shawn Yue played him well. There's this other dude with like flying blades, I don't remember his name, and there's like a Tinker type of, Mr. Tinker type of sort of like character. And yeah, I think definitely like the cast chemistry is there, but sadly the whole narrative device is really sort of isn't written well, which I think is sort of, you can see that it's like the weakness in As Light Goes Out, because I mean that story is very self-contained. It is a fire in a building, and then they did well with contained storyline. But here it's like a lot of things are happening. He tries to sort of put things to like mess things up because he just wants to rebel because of his sort of inner demon thing, and then they get sent to Earth, and then they lose all their powers, and they help all these like humans, and then they get owned again by this demon sort of, I don't even know who Nini's mom or Azu, I can't pronounce their names, but the girl's mom is like, what role does she play in the Heavenly Kingdoms? I think she just keeps track of this like intelligence thing, and she wants to like get things under control, and she totally, yeah, so story-wise it's kind of like iffy, but like the heart-to-heart moments, like dialogue, character, I think is there, but then it's not all the way there because just how things are built up, you don't really see them develop. I mean, you see them develop, but it's like you don't know them much. So yeah, fleshing out the characters in terms of where they stand, and you would actually care when they're being developed. And definitely also too much reliance on the whole CGI thing. It ends the same way as how Monkey King 2 ended. I mean, I liked how it ended. I mean, in terms of just, it looks very like video game-ish, but I mean, that's how it goes super over the top, and I think it's okay. But the whole sort of move things with my mind type of shtick is just getting old, and I think it definitely reminds me of Ekin Chen and his like Mountain of Zoo or something, where he moved things with his mind, but he had more stuff to do, so it was way more compelling. But here, just like them staring at each other intently, and then in a pose or whatever, and then blades start flying. So overall, I mean, I enjoy the characters. Eddie Peng did a good job. I do wonder if they're gonna do another sequel, because this world for Journey to the West is much more rounded. His staff is like not an actual rod, but rather like something that he conjures. So that's a really cool way of seeing why he can do the things that he can. So I really dug that. Yeah, just like the bleakness of it sort of reminds me of Batman Begins, type of like dark, sort of trying to make this look real but not. I mean, Journey to the West can't be real. You can't ground that at all. But yeah, I mean, definitely enjoyed what it was. Fight sequences, wish there were more physicalness of it, like practical effects rather than CGI, so that was a bummer. But then that badass line from the trailer is in the movie, so that's always cool. Also, the action sequences sort of failed in terms of just the whole faceless army thing. I mean, if you have seen any Avengers movie, that's what we're talking about. All these people fight and then they just die with one hit because you're so strong and it doesn't really matter. There's no actual fights. Really, pacing out fights would have been a lot better. More character enemies, that would have been much more interesting than just like, let me whack all these people and they turn to dust. And the worst part of it all is that when there were humans, these guys were like, kill moves were crazy. It's just like, imagine if you've seen the trailer for like Fantastic Four and then Dr. Doom does this like snap thing and the people's heads come off and stuff, and apparently, I haven't seen the movie, but he doesn't do that in the actual movie because they cut that out. So it's just like, why does have, or actually no, he has that move, but he doesn't use it when he fights a hero. So it's always like that, when you have kill moves like that and you don't pull it off, or at least try to attempt it. I mean, it would have been more appreciative than try to do the kill move and then Wukong just like shrugged it off. I mean, that would have been totally fine, but they didn't do that. So that was a bummer, and these things just became super like weak, and I was just like, And then, I don't know, I guess the villain was very compelling. It's just like whole mother-turned-daughter thing. Not mother-turned-daughter, but the whole mother-daughter relationship turned bad, and then I actually have a sort of alternate plan for your life type of thing, despite the fact that they're all talking about fate and nothing's like sort of can be changed type of thing. So I mean, overall aesthetics, it was fine. Visuals, fine. Eddie Peng's as Wukong was good. Cast chemistry was good. Overall narrative could have been improved a lot more in terms of pacings. Though granted, this story is a new one in terms of just like the online adaptation, so I don't know how it's gonna fly with hardcore Journey to the West fans. But I do like the whole aspect of him having a love interest, because it really changes things. Though granted, it's not like normal lovey-gushy thing, but like the development of that was interesting, and I enjoyed that, seeing that blossom type of thing. So overall, it was okay. A bit too much CGI. And I think I'm gonna stop there. So this is it for the before and after of Wukong. Later.